The Olympics has finally come to an end. Woohoo! Right? But don't cheer just yet, because the closing ceremony might just be the most demonic thing yet to come from the Olympics. I'm going to break it all down for you, so make sure to sit back and relax, because this one is a big one. As you can see, we've got grey figures banging on the floor, a man hanging from a rope, a golden moth-looking man, and there's just so much to unpack here. First off, the closing ceremony has absolutely nothing to do with sports. Instead, it features dark and eerie imagery. Despite the claims that the ceremony has absolutely nothing to do with religion, they are trying to copyright the videos of the ceremony so that people can't make videos about them. So it's very hard to find information and photos about this ceremony, so if I did get anything wrong, make sure to correct me, but I did manage to find some photos. At centre stage, we've got this golden moth-looking man covered in golden beads, called the Golden Voyager. His character is based on a NASA project where they sent a golden record into space containing all the information about human life and culture, hoping that extraterrestrial beings would be able to find it and make contact with us. This Golden Voyager character is the humanoid form of this golden record. So this Golden Voyager basically is the embodiment of all of the knowledge about human life and culture. And I'm not just assuming that this Golden Voyager is just the embodiment of knowledge. I'm not just guessing this. There's actually a part of the video where they're talking about the inspiration of this costume that is very interesting, because it suggests that this record took on a substance, travelled through the universe and assumed a form, as you can hear in the video. So it does say something along the lines of that, and I'll see if I can find the video to put it on the screen. And this record that the Golden Voyager is embodying was designed as a complete repository of all the information that an extraterrestrial being would need to fully grasp human civilization. So symbolically, the Golden Voyager embodies the concept of ultimate knowledge about humanity. In simple terms, the Golden Voyager is the embodiment of knowledge. Obviously, you should go and check out the remaining videos of this closing ceremony and come to your own conclusion. As we see the Golden Voyager descend from the roof of the stadium, or heaven if you will, into the darkness, it's very reminiscent of Lucifer's fall from heaven when he rebelled against God. Strange, isn't it? So as you can see in this Twitter post, they do point out the position of his leg during the descent, and how it's very similar to the hanged man in occult symbolism, which represents the ultimate surrender. His leg was bent just like in the tarot card, so they got the leg position correct. However, some say this is a stretch, since the Voyager isn't upside down like the tarot card. And the reverse card does have different meanings, like discontentment, which doesn't quite connect here. So another unsettling post actually comes from Lynette. She actually mentions that during his descent from the roof, the Hymn of Apollo is actually being played. The Hymn of Apollo is a song praising the god of light, which is Apollo. And this is very significant because in the Bible, Satan masquerades as an angel of light, 2 Corinthians 11:14-15. And the Golden Voyager looks like he is worshipping this god of light. So another post by Here Comes Trouble actually says that these grey figures are aliens who discovered the golden record, or the Golden Voyager. These grey figures do have nothing to do with sport. They do look creepy, and they're all dancing around, lifting a golden arch that looks like a portal, or could be, one of the Olympic rings, up to the sky, and then they start lifting the Golden Voyager like they've chosen knowledge over God. They appear to be worshipping him, bowing their heads to him, banging on the ground and everything. There is also a statue of an angelic figure with no head, representing the goddess Nike. She is the Greek goddess of victory. Apparently, the actual statue lost its head historically. The Golden Voyager seems to admire this statue, pleased with its being there, and it kind of represents his supposed victory, like Lucifer's supposed win. Obviously, this isn't true. God has already defeated the devil, but this is what it looks like. Not all of this might have anything to do with Satan, and obviously these are just things that I believe that the ceremony could be trying to do. But it's kind of hard to see what else this could be. They're all banging on the floor. It definitely seems like it has something to do with religion. There's definitely a common theme in these events, people bowing down and worshipping, and it clearly has something to do with religion, as I said before, or religious practices, which the Olympics keep denying. This is very reminiscent of the Birmingham ceremony for the Olympics, with the glowing red ball and everyone bowing down to worship it. However, the Birmingham one looks blatantly demonic, and it is scary for kids to watch. However, this one is still scary to watch, but it does seem much more discreet and harder to tell what's really going on. In addition, the Olympics denied that the opening ceremony had anything to do with the Last Supper. But Barbara Dutch, or however you say her name, who was at the centre of the stage, who was meant to be playing Jesus, actually posted, oh yes, the Newgate Testament before quickly taking it down, saying otherwise. But let's actually look at a whole new viewpoint, and one that I think is the most probable, the one that I believe the most. So as you can see by this post by Nikki, which I'm going to read out, she has a completely different viewpoint on this. She did a slight breakdown, even though she's not Christian. So she says, closing ceremony Olympics 2024, returning to the gods of old, opening the portal, one pet goat, two reminiscent. Pet goat is already giving, the devil. But she also goes on to say, whilst it's easy to dismiss this as satanic, look a bit closer. We are seeing push to for the return to the fallen gods, the promise that we can be like the gods, pushed by those like Harari and many others, Jupiter, Satan rising. The horned bull with glowing eyes is all connected. I'm sure at Secret Sunblog we'll have a breakdown soon. Her message was a little bit difficult to understand, but what I'm getting from this is that she's trying to say that this is not satanic and it doesn't have anything to do with our god, but Greek gods. And maybe that's what this ceremony is celebrating, that we can be our own gods, and this is not directly mocking our religion, and this is not satanic. But I disagree, this is satanic, celebrating being our own gods. In Greek mythology, gods like Prometheus defied higher powers to bring knowledge and enlightenment to humanity. So this whole ceremony could be, a symbolic rebellion against traditional divine authority, rejecting established religions like Christianity in favour of self-worship and spiritual empowerment and knowledge and just becoming your own god. We can't be gods, and this is a very, very dangerous temptation and very dangerous thing to get into, because this is the exact same thing that Satan fell out of heaven for. He wanted to be more powerful than God. He wanted the angels to worship him, and he's now trying to trick other people into thinking that they can be their own gods. In addition, he literally tricked Adam and Eve that they can be at the same level as God if they ate the apple, that they can gain knowledge. But don't be fearful. God is bringing out light in the midst of the darkness in this Olympic ceremony, because some athletes were actually seen worshipping God before the Olympics, and this girl who even broke her record gave all the credit to God, which is just amazing. We are all called to be lights in the darkness. We need to represent the kingdom of God in this dark world, no matter what is happening around us. One thing I just find funny about the closing ceremony of the Olympics, and all of the Olympics, the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony alike, is that how are children allowed to watch these things? In the opening ceremony, we've got people with their genitals out, basically naked. And now in the closing ceremony and the Birmingham ceremony, we've got demonic imagery, things that look scary. But we're not allowed to talk about Jesus Christ in schools, but we're not going to be allowed to. So they're trying to ban that in schools, and they're trying to change the word church because apparently it's offensive to people. But children are still allowed to watch the opening and closing ceremony of the Olympics when it's become so dark and demonic. So it's just all strange. This world is messed up, and I pray that we can all be protected by God and be ready for his return, because it's definitely coming closer.